Hey everybody, welcome back to the Vinyl Countdown. Say, do you like music? Do you like records? Or how about finding cool stuff out in the wild like this? Well, then you came to the right place. We love having a good time at the Vinyl Countdown. Yeah, and that's your host, Peaches. He's always up for a good time. So if you want to have some fun, why don't you sit back and relax, maybe grab a beverage, and join us for another episode of the Vinyl Countdown. Oh, yeah.
Well, day when I was chilling in Kentucky Fried Chicken, minding my own business, eating food and finger licking. This dude walked in looking strange and kind of funny, went up to the front with a menu and his money. He didn't walk straight, kind of side to side. He asked this old lady, yo, Kentucky Fried? The lady said, yeah, smiled, and he smiled back. He gave a quarter and his order, small fries, Big Mac. You be illin', a chick illin', a chick illin', a chick. Ow, a chickle alien, ow, ow! Yeah, you guys, welcome back to the Vinyl Countdown. Let's break this down correctly. All right. Oh, yeah. You guys remember, right? Oh, yes, you do. Welcome back to the Vinyl Countdown. I'm Peaches. Oh yeah. Oh, back in those days, man. I'm telling you. He brings me back. He does. And you might ask, who is he? It's B-Rad from H2 Vinyl. That's right. H2 Vinyl is having a 100 subs contest. And I'm in. I am in to win. Alright? That's right. Peaches is going to break it down correctly like what I'm showing you right now. Okay? Let's crank this down a little bit more. Alright, you guys. So yeah, Brad has a contest going on, and he wants us to tell him a story or two about these moments when music hit you really hard, and then you, I think the word was devoured it. And when he said that word devour, I think he said that word devour, it brought me right to that Shinedown song, Devour. You know that one? Yeah. But yeah, what made you just dive into music, man? So, I'm going to tell you my story. How does that sound? I know I've probably mentioned it a few times, man, but we can go through it again. I love talking about the 80s. That's what Peaches is all about, right? Yeah, because I was there for the beginning. Yeah, you remember Run DMC, you guys? Yeah, not only that, but I was there, Brad. Yeah, Easy-E cold knocking the boot, cause I'm a hip-hop thugster. I used to be a mugster, in case you heard. You think I owned a drugstore. Getting stupid because I know how. And if a sucker talk, I give him a 8-ball zipping, flipping. Yeah, we're talking the beginning, man. You bet. So here we go. Here we go, you guys. It was, I'm telling you, it was 3 years. And a lot of these guys, I think, are going to agree with me in the vinyl community about this being a 3-year deal. We're talking 1983 to 1986. Now, when Brad said, hey, tell me about how you just devoured music, like when were those points when you did that? Well, I'm telling you, man, between 1983 and 1986, it might as well have been this. Yeah, a bag of microwave popcorn. And let me tell you why. At that time, there were so many things happening in the 80s, and it was the land of discovery, okay? The 80s were so insane, it is hard to even describe them to you. And I was there. It was like a bag of microwave popcorn. There was one group. Oh, yeah, Quiet Riot, right? And then there was another group at the same time called Def Leppard. And then there was another group at the other same time that was called Twisted Sister. Now let me tell you about this. This was the dawn of a new day. It was called MTV. And man, when you got to see this new thing when you were my age, this is grade school, man. This is like getting towards the end of grade school, okay? I am discovering this stuff, and MTV, boom! Anybody would have to agree with that. It was crazy, okay? So, at the same time, I was seeing this stuff on MTV, right? I was getting these tapes from my aunt. Oh, that was new on MTV. She had a tape. That was new on MTV. She had a tape. That was new from MTV, and she had a tape. And I brought these all back to my house when I was a little kid. Little kid. And so this was a huge start for me. Okay? And then, I'm talking 1983 to 1986, right? Well, when you got these guys coming out, right? All of a sudden, here it comes right up the rear. I discovered this thing called Purple Rain, man. This was at a time in the 80s, man, where it was the first available time to rent a VCR in movies. So we would go into town, and there was a spot right there. This was in the beginning of malls. It was the beginning of everything, man. Shopping malls, everything. So you go there with mom and dad, right? Or mom, and you hit the mall, right? It's a brand new place. It's sparkly and shiny like a new casino, right? Well, as soon as you walk in the door on the right-hand side, there it was, Video Vision. This really awesome place where you could rent videos and watch, and you'd take the VCR home in a bag, man. Okay? You would rent the VCR, take it home in a bag, and you'd rent these VCR tapes, VHS, and keep them for 3 or 4 or 5 days and then bring them back. People are still doing this. It blows my mind that people are still doing this right now. But, yeah, so next to that store, and this is where I found Purple Rain. It was a new release, okay? It was a brand new release. It's 1984, 85, you know? So, right next to that store, there was a place called Face the Music. And Face the Music was this land of opportunity as well, okay? So there's one aspect of, let me put you into that situation of all this newness and comparing this to like a bag of microwave popcorn, okay? Once you started discovering these little things, and this was the year, 83, 84, when it started, it was a couple of kernels. It was a couple of kernels popping, right? And then it was 3 or 4 kernels popping, and then 5 or 6 kernels popping, and then all of a sudden, it was a literal pile of artists and exciting new things to discover, okay? So, okay, we've gotten that far, okay? So you might ask, Peaches, where did you learn about all this stuff? How did it come about? Well, I'm telling you, I grew up like another guy that made a video for this contest. I grew up out in the country. You know, it was horses and cows and woods and dirt bikes and not a lot of people around, okay? So I spent most of my time out in the country when I was growing up. But those little things, you know, those little times when you could go to town was a special treat back then. You know, we go to town once or twice a week at the most, okay, you guys? It was grocery shopping, relatives, and head back home. Or it was the doctor, groceries, going to visit relatives, head back home. And you'd stay home for another week, okay? So, where did I learn about this stuff? Yeah, it was grade school. And being that I lived out in the country, most all of us back in those days rode the school bus, okay? Imagine the school bus being the conference room for all the music, okay? We all would go sit in the back of the bus, and it was kids from kindergarten to seniors in high school. And most of the time, the oldest kids were in the back of the bus. That was the cool place to be, right? And not only did I get it, I got in early. So I'm in the 4th, 5th grade, right? I'm hanging out with people 2 and 3 years older than me and the same age as me at the same time. So we had a very diverse age group in there, okay? That's one thing. So we rode the school bus a lot to and from school. The conference room for music discussion and discovery, okay? All those age groups involved, okay? So then, the second thing about the school bus, we had this dude that must have been in college, I remember, and he installed the biggest stereo system you could find at the time for a car in the school bus, okay? Top of the line, it must have been an Alpine or something like that, tape deck. Speakers bolted to the ceiling, like 4 of them, all the way up and down the inside of the bus, right? Okay. So he started bringing in this stuff, right? And he would listen to this or that, or he had a tape or whatever. And then me having this at home, having this at home, and having this at home, I brought all those tapes on the school bus. And all the older kids were like, what? You? Oh, no. No. And this is at a time where Kiss was a joke. Okay? Kiss at this time, everybody was already forgetting about Kiss. They were whatever. Okay? It was, yeah, Motley Crue, Def Leppard, okay, Twisted Sister, all this stuff. So I'm coming on the bus and I'm like, as soon as you get on the bus, you'd hand the tape to the driver, okay? And like I said, we spent a lot of time on the bus, so we could get sometimes 2 to 3 tapes in a day. Or he would play one side, play somebody else's tape, and then play somebody else's tape after that. So we'd get Motley Crue, Def Leppard, and Twisted Sister all in one ride to school that day. And then the same thing on the way home. So, okay, let me put you into this position again. Back to the subject. I'm sitting in the back of the bus with all the cool kids, right? If that's what we thought it was, it's all relative. So I got kids 2 and 3 years older than me sitting in the back of the bus. I brought this stuff on the bus. I was automatically cool, right? I was riding with them. Yeah, way back. Riding G-style in the 6'4", you know what I'm saying? Anyway, yeah, so we're on the back of the bus, right? Dude puts the music in. He's got this thing on 10 the whole time, right? To and from school. So, yeah, do you want to join the air band? So we got one kid over on the left side playing guitar. He's got everything. He's got the whammy bar. He's got the vibrato on the fingers going like this on every note correctly. It was like he practiced this at home. We're like listening to Def Leppard Pyromania, right? And he's all wow, chick, wow. And then the dude across from him's on the drums. And, I'm the new kid, the young kid, so I get to play bass. Boom, 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 boom. Or whatever. And then one of the chicks would be singing, right? So it was air band on the bus to this blasting Pyromania, going over every pothole in the blacktop, bouncing up and down. Summer, spring, winter, and fall, man. And that was 3 years of that in essence, but I'm talking kindergarten through I started driving when I was 16, 17, but still a lot of years on this bus, trading ideas, learning, listening, new groups every time. Some other kid would bring a different one in. So it ended up being like that. Okay, so let's review this again. We had Twisted Sister on MTV. Def Leppard Pyromania was giant. Okay, so this is 1984. Okay. I got these all screwed up now. Okay. Here's 1983. 1983 Quiet Riot, right? Okay. So we can put that one aside. 1984 Twisted Sister. Okay. And that's that, in that 3 years I'm telling you about. 1983 Def Leppard Pyromania. My favorite song on here. I was a little kid, man. I was playing with Tonka toys in my room listening to Pyromania. My favorite song was Rock of Ages, man. Okay. And then in 1984, okay, we're going to go to 1984 again. And it was the onset of Purple Rain, 1984, okay? And then you had to match it, you had the Ice Cream Castle, right? Because they were from the movie Purple Rain. When I discovered this movie Purple Rain, dude, I am telling you, it was that thing, you know, like Showbiz Pizza. I was there, man. I was there for the beginning of all of this stuff. Your Showbiz Pizza story was, I don't mean to interject here, but I was there, man. I saw all of that stuff you were talking about. We did all of that, okay? But this onset of Purple Rain was a life-changing deal, dude. I'm serious. When I saw that movie, I mean, I'm in grade school, right? It's the first time you could rent a VCR, the first time you could take home and watch movies as a rental deal. The first time you ever saw Purple Rain because it was brand new. And then, so this is all new and stuff. And then there's like nudie scenes in here, okay? And I'm imagining, if I remember this right, my mom didn't want me seeing that stuff, okay? And then there's my dad on the other side of the room going, just leave it alone. Okay? Well, I like this movie. That song, that Let's Go Crazy song's pretty darn good, you know? So my dad loved the movie. My mom, I think she loved the movie. I don't really remember. She was concerned, okay? And, so yeah, it was like a family event to watch Purple Rain as many times as we possibly could. So then when I discovered this, now we're getting into your point, when I discovered this, I was immediately, as a grade school student, backtracking his music log. Okay? And so I'm already investigating this guy's past and his future, all right? Now, let's make a little side note here. I was in grade school, right? When I discovered this Purple Rain movie, everybody else in my class was too. And I would bring this tape on the bus. This is the actual record, man, from that I got when I was a kid. It's the actual record. It is beat to heck and back. Okay? I have the poster on my wall. So all the other kids were discovering this in those avenues, school bus, all this stuff. And so we were going to have a talent show, right? Ding, ding, ding. Okay, what am I going to do for the talent show? I'm going to dress up like Prince, and I'm going to do the song, I'm going to lip sync the song, Let's Go Crazy. Not only am I going to lip sync the song Let's Go Crazy, I'm going to reenact the scene from the movie and go over the top with it. So, okay, here we are. The school gymnasium. Do you guys remember this? Did you guys have one of those huge school gymnasiums that was really old? And at one end of the gymnasium was a stage that they had for performances. And it had the big old red velvet curtains. And it was, at that time, it was larger than life. It was bigger than the movie theaters, right? So you had this big stage and it was 4 or 5 feet up off the ground. And there was all kinds of scaffolding on the inside. And it was all set up for doing plays and all that stuff and performances. And for music and all that stuff, right? So we're getting all set up for this talent show. You don't really have an idea of what other people are doing, but you can kind of guess, because I had a chick in my class that was actually wearing the Michael Jackson Thriller jacket, okay? Do you remember that red jacket with the stripes all over it and all that stuff? She wore that thing every day. And I can guarantee you that she was going to be doing Thriller for her, same thing as me, for her talent show thing. So I'm setting this up for you still, right? So what did I do? I had my mom help me put this costume together. I had the fringy frillies around the outside. You know, I was dressing up like this guy on the cover. You know, I had the frilly shirt, and I had one of those old alligator jackets with the Colonel Sanders thing on the sleeves or on the shoulders. And so I dressed up like him as much as I could within reason. You know, we just scrapped some stuff together. And then I made an actual wood guitar. Yeah, I had somebody help me. I can't remember who it was. Help me make his his Fender Telecaster that he did that he used in the movie for the song. So I got this Telecaster made out of wood, and I used fishing line for strings. Okay, so and we had nails nailed in there, and all the strings went down, and then you draw the frets on there with a black Sharpie marker. Okay, so imagine this little 5th, 6th grader, right? Dressed up like Prince with this big Telecaster guitar. It was actual size, so the guitar was about as big as I was. And I was really athletic at that time, dude. I could do the most pull-ups in my whole school. Okay, I was one of the fastest runners. I was a super athlete. Okay, so here we go, the talent show, right? It's on. We're doing this. Stage lights, spotlight, the whole thing, the whole class, the whole school, all the teachers, the principal, all sitting on the gymnasium floor, right? And here I come. The music starts. It's blasting over the speakers. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to this thing called life. And okay, let me back up a second. This is the surprise. We had, you know, the big giant rope that you used to climb in grade school for gym class? It was this big giant wood rope, and everybody ended up getting rug burns on it, okay? But you had to try to climb to the top of the rope and come back down. And it was really high, right? Well, that rope was mounted to the ceiling in the middle of the stage. And then you had the curtains on the side, and when they didn't use the rope, it was hanging up. And I had discovered that this rope reached this scaffolding stuff behind the curtain at the side of the stage. So what did I do when Dearly Beloved came on? When you hear the beginning, I had climbed up that scaffolding with my guitar in my outfit, and I grabbed that rope with one arm in the middle of the rope. So it was up here, just like when you swim, just like a swimming, swing or rope swing, right? I got the rope in one arm. I'm hanging onto it with all my body weight. I got the guitar in one arm. And as soon as he said, Dearly Beloved, I swung all the way across the stage. I swung all the way back with one arm with the guitar, and I jumped halfway down. So it was like a 8-foot drop almost, you guys. And I landed on the stage, and it was like, and the elevator tries to break it down, and I went, bam, go crazy. Watch out. So here I'm dancing around the stage, and the rest is history, man. It was the most epic time in my life. Purple Rain on stage, swinging from a rope like Eddie Van Halen. So yeah, dude, I'm serious. So then, after that, I start going into the backlog. So I discovered Purple Rain. So now I'm discovering, okay, what else does Purple Rain have? And I think my aunt had this tape too. I brought it home to my house, and I was discovering songs on here that I probably shouldn't have been listening to, but I didn't really pay attention to the words so much when I was a kid, I just liked the way it made me feel, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is the one that came out in 1982, Prince 1999. So I acquired that one and brought it home and kept listening to it and all that stuff. So, after Purple Rain came out, here we go, 1985. Paisley Park. Yep. Raspberry Beret. Around the World in a Day by Prince, man. Got this tape home, and this is when my mom and dad took their hard-earned money and bought me a boombox of my very own. And right along with it was this album. Yeah, on tape. Around the World in a Day by Prince. Okay, so let's get back to the school bus thing. Yeah, this is the stuff that we were playing on the school bus, man. And it branched out, and with all of these older kids, you got to think of how many days we were on this bus twice a day for over an hour a day on this bus, okay? And so the older kids kept feeding the younger kids all this stuff, and we were all one big happy family. I remember it on this school bus when we were kids. No matter what happened in school, we were all kind of buddies, no matter what the age. and on the school bus, and it went, it was it was Theater of Pain, Girls, 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 all the other Def Leppard stuff, all the other Motley Crue stuff, and then it was all the Ozzy Osbourne and all of this stuff, and everybody got to take a turn. So, dude, when you ask me about this thing, and I tell you, it was like a bag of popcorn taking off. It was this huge deal. I mean, you had artists coming out of the woodwork in the 80s with album after album after song after song after album after song after song. And it was all brand new, man. And then Junior High hit, and it was, Run DMC. I was the first kid in town to buy the Run DMC album. Yeah. Which one was it again? Yeah, it was, Run DMC 1986. I couldn't remember the name of it, but it was Raising Hell. Yeah, it was the one with Walk This Way, My Adidas, I Was Chillin' in Kentucky Fried Chicken, You Be Illin'. All those songs, man. I was the first kid to buy that tape. And it probably took his third album to get there, okay? To get to the cornfields of Minnesota, okay? We probably didn't even know what was going on with his first two albums, okay? So, yeah, Brad, I love doing your contest here. I think I've taken up enough of your time. It's been good. And I'm telling you right now, man, I got a little surprise for you. If you don't have this, okay, I would like to offer this record up to you as basically VCLT, okay? Because I know how much you love that era of rap and stuff when you were growing up. But if you don't have it, it's all yours, man. It's Snoop Dogg. The game is to be told, or is to be sold, not to be told. And I believe that if I open this up, it's a double album. I just had it laying around. Yeah, it's from 1998. It's his third studio album, Snoop Dogg. If you want it, Brad, it's yours. Okay? If you don't have it, if you want it, let me know. Okay? But it's just sitting here in my house and I don't listen to it. Okay? Every great once in a while. But I think you would appreciate it way more than I would. Okay? Like I said, it's yours if you want it, man. So everybody, go down and check out Brad at H2 Vinyl. Be round. And subscribe to his channel if you're not already. All right? This guy has an awesome, awesome taste for music. And I completely love that electronica from the 90s. It's like every time he puts a record on, it's like this, it's got this quality that I think that he strives for. You know what I'm saying? For the production and the way these albums are put together from the 90s, this electronica stuff, man, it's good. And I really do like what he's listening to. All right? I'm Peaches from the Vinyl Countdown. Thanks for coming down. Don't forget to like and subscribe, man. We'll see you later.